And so they think them NFLers and them other big schools, they appreciate it. They appreciate Virginia. They appreciate it. I was reading something per capita in Virginia. We got more NFL players per capita that come from Virginia than any other state. Yeah. And that's what's happening is that you don't have now. The thing is that, we're getting robbed. Because it's crazy.
Yeah. It's not just Virginia Tech losing out. UVA is losing out as well. All of them. So it's definitely recruiting, and recruiting start with coaching and the staff, and they're just not hitting those areas. They're not even hitting Florida. Yeah. I see less and less Florida guys.
And they got so many resources through all of us and other people that we hands on with these top kids. And it just make us look crazy if we come in here and we go in there and we be like, man, Virginia Tech is the best thing. This what it did. I can't lie to you like that because it ain't what it was when we was there. We was there. It was. I get your dog. Tech is where you need to be. But now I can't even look at you done trusted me all your life. And then I'm gonna look at you and tell you to go to Tech. And you what? Man, come on, man. Like I said, I love my school to death. I love my school to death, but I ain't gonna do that to no kid. I don't care what. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not.
Right.
And I think now with and possibly with some of the new coaches that's on staff and some of the Virginia-based coaches that has come in, and that some of the guys that I think they've started, doing some more due diligence in those old areas. But that's the thing is that when you have young play coaches, when you have a new staff, you're not. Now you have to recreate. It's just like raising donations. You got to create the relationship. Yeah. And if you don't have a good relationship, who will give you $1 million if you haven't talked to them in a couple of years? Yeah. So those are the things that has to be done. Those relations has to be rubbed and managed. So a question to everybody, and I'd like to hear everybody's answer to this. So with this start over stage, because we gotta get these recruits back. Do we start over with the same coach, or what do we do? I mean, I just want to know, because at the end of the day, like you won with Beamer's guys, and I don't have nothing personal against Coach Fuente or nobody. I just want my team to win. I'm tired of UVA fans. I'm tired of everybody calling us. I'm tired of that because this thing got almost physical a lot of times. Like, man, I don't want to hear that, man. I don't keep talking about that. The stuff that they be saying is kind of right. So my question to everybody is, where do we go from here?
What I've seen so far, like you said, I've seen more Virginia Tech recruiting in 757 this year happening, but it's to players that have offers to like JMU or Shenandoah University, and then Virginia Tech is their biggest college. So are you now shuffling out offers just to get your name back out there, or are you trying to really get quality players? Yeah, it's a good question. See what I'm saying? So are you going, because now when we were coming up, it was like blue chip. We didn't have like 5, 6, 7 stars, all this stuff. They just got players. Now they got all these 5 stars. To me, and then most of the 5 stars is like 2 stars when you get them on the field.
Exactly. So I told somebody the other day, you mean to tell me that I only claim to fame is beating UVA all that time and us having the best entrance in college football? Who gives a rat's? You know what, man? The interest is dope. Don't get me wrong. Beating UVA is dope. Don't get me wrong. But you mean to tell me that's what? So I come to recruit you and I'll be like, yo, Sharon Steph, man, we got the greatest interest in college football. Come sign here. How stupid do you sound? I I can't do that to nobody, man. That's just crazy.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Exactly. So I think at this point, like the Virginia Tech may be the biggest college on their recruiting. So that kid is gonna come to Virginia Tech. Yeah. But is he really a quality player to offer a scholarship? Go ahead, Wayne.
But no, it's I get pissed off watching the game now. Yeah. Like real pissed off. It gets to the point I just walk away and turn to another game.
That's it.
The biggest thing, that I would like to see come back is the mentality. Like, Like the defense. One of the beautiful things that the staff did when we were there was develop, right? And specifically Coach Gentry in the weight room.
Absolutely.
Develop that mentality. I mean, it was all the way across the board. So, you know, whenever adversity strikes, you know, it was like, man, we done did 110. We done did, you know, we done did all this stuff. So this ain't nothing. But like right now, I just, you know, I don't see that grit. You know, I don't see that, you know, even if they have the 3-star, but if they had the, you know, the get after it mentality, the blue collar, the clock in, you know, I think it would be better. But right now, you know, I'm not sold that they're actually, you know, really actively recruiting, because like even in this area, you know, I don't see them.
Yeah.
You know, it was like who? Like what you mean? You know, like my nephew, he went to Florida State, you know, as a walk-on. You know, very little interaction, very little desire to even recruit him. You know, one of the top guys to come out this year. You know what I mean? So they just got to do a better job. Number one, to believe in where we come from as a program, and what that program was built on, which is blue collar, and really understanding that we got to get back to that mentality of, you know, tough nose defense. We got to get some tackles. We got to get some backers to run. They got to get the defensive backs and get some running backs on the offensive side of the ball, point blank.
We
because one of the things that we believe, is that the success of this team come through the stables. Whatever we do as a running back group, we usually win. You see what I'm saying? So we just got to get back to, you know, recruiting those guys, and then just believing, you know, the very thing that that was established in the beginning. You know what I mean?
Blue collar than Stella Hollywood. I said for years, like technically went Hollywood. I mean, the uniforms and helmets and all that, that's beautiful, man. But yo, it was like a act of Congress just to get us to wear all maroon back in the day.
You had to turn in your jock strap to get a new one.
What? Man, listen, man. They
had to turn in your socks to get a new pair of socks.
What about the bowl shoes? You wear them joints for, if you walk around a couple of times in them bowl shoes, you might have turf. Boys are small, they got everything. But go ahead.
Pegues, remember we were playing, me, Pegues, and Dre, pit game. It was raining outside, and we had the same sneakers the lineman had on.
The boots, the Nike boots. Goodness, hey, them joints with some ACGs. Them joints were so happy.
Yeah. Yo, what's up with this?
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Parker. I know you wanted to say something.
I don't see it with this coach, man. I hate to sit here and call for a cat's job, man. But I just, you know, I think I've seen enough, man. Yeah. I will say I like the fact of trying to bring back in some of that the hokey coaches or whatnot, and you trying to bring that mentality in. I definitely respect that. But you know, maybe I can change my mind if this year was to turn out, you know, a little bit different than I think it's the way it's heading. But yeah, right now, I think we're looking at moving on. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know who the guy is. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I just think you need to get somebody back in. I think Wayne hit on the word, man. Mentality. Yeah. That was so big for us. I mean, that word was everything for us. You know, that was how we played. You know what I'm saying? And it just, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. You know, maybe they can get it turned around. I don't know, man, but I'm out on this guy.
Yeah, and that mentality came from Coach Gentry, brother. I'm gonna tell you, you wanted that Super Iron Hokey, and you was gonna do anything to get that Super Iron Hokey T-shirt. Two things that I always can say about Virginia Tech: win, lose, or draw. Two things: we're gonna muscle you. We're gonna be super physical with you. We're gonna be strong. You not gonna muscle us. We're gonna do the muscling.
Yeah.
We never got tired. Never got tired. Never. And that is Coach Gentry. Point blank, period. I don't know the guy that's in there now. You know, some guy that was in there got put out. I don't know how, you know, but at the end of the
Planet Fitness guy in there now. The Planet Fitness guy in there.
Right, they need to get back to the Planet Steel. Coach Gentry down at what's the Emory and Henry? One of the kids, kids that I coached, two of my kids go to that, man. It was like, Dre, man, how y'all get, man, I ain't never been this strong. He ain't been there about a year.
Yeah.
That's what he gonna how you run it. You're gonna be pushing trucks. You're gonna be doing all that stuff, man. And I think that's one thing. I see with Tech a little bit. I think we get pushed around a little bit, man. And I think that goes back to the weight room. But who's up next? Lovers?
Yeah,
Jared?
I think Fuente got to go. You know, we probably had the most kids in the transfer portal in all the NCAA. Would y'all think?
Yes, every year.
Every year.
Every year we have.
I mean, it's ridiculous. We even losing players. And I think we need one of our own from around that time, that lunch bell time, who really knows the tradition to come in and change everything.
Yeah.
You know, we definitely need one of our own to come back.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Ricky Hall and I have looked every year. Our number 2 receiver every year for the last 4 years has transferred out. Now, if you're the number 2 receiver, this is a different guy now. Every year has transferred out. The number 2 receiver. Now, why the number 2 receiver for the last 4 years at Virginia Tech has transferred out? I need to know the answers to that. Why? You're the number 2 receiver.
Because you probably see the number 1 ain't getting it. He's on the number 2. I don't got a chance.
I'm like,
that's a good question, though, bro. That's a good question, man. And we hate the fact that, like I said, man, I hate that the Hokies win. I try to tell them, so like, man, listen, you think that we really like having this to talk about coaching and, we got like being upset about our team. Now, we don't mind losing. I don't mind losing a game or two. But my thing is, man, you got to give me some effort. You got to give me something. Go there and fight. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Go out there laying no eggs, because even in defeats, even in our defeats, we play hard today. No one could ever say that a Hokie team under Frank Beamer didn't play hard. And I'm going to leave it right there. And if I'm lying, somebody punch me in the mouth.
Right.
I'm just being real with you, but yeah, man. So,
and Dre, to go back to what you were saying, man, like, I didn't want to let y'all down.
Yeah,
it was like a legacy thing, man. It's
we
like
didn't want to let each other down.
Weight, during that time, man. So
right. That's crazy.
Wherever it was on the field, we stepped on the field. Hey, I got my brother back, and that's the mentality.
Doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt. How in the world you gonna go Oxendine to Parker to Pegues and step them, and then we just let it go all the way from there? Nah, you can't do that. Like I said, that's the one thing we made our football and position room. We held it down. We did what we do every year, and it was like I said, we did it by committee, and we made it happen. And we definitely made it happen. So, man, I'm telling you, we got a lot of stories that we can talk about, fellas. And, in closing, I'm going to go through the line. Anybody starting with Shy, we're going to run it down. You got something to say, just talk about it, and we'll go from there.
All right. Well, in closing, I remember coming to Virginia Tech on my official visit. The first person I met was Big Wade. Everybody know how big. Waverly Jackson. Everybody know how big he is with his soft voice. And he set the tone for me, like, if you come to Virginia Tech, you're gonna work. And at the time, and me being from Western Branch High School, I'm not afraid of that. I'm used to doing that. Mm-hmm. But once we got on that field, it was a different type of work.
No doubt.
It was definitely a different type of work. But I had Oxendine there. I had Poons there. I had Marcus Parker there. So with seeing them, how they work, their work ethic, how they helped me on the field, helping me and Dre at the time, helped me and Dre build up Lee and Keith and other younger running backs, and even on the fullbacks as well. But also when Pegues came on, he saw how Oxendine and Parker worked, and I even helped him mold myself and Dre as well. So I think we built upon each other. And again, it goes back to, we didn't want to let each other down. Like we saw great running backs leave. First of all, we came to Virginia Tech because we saw great running backs. Yeah. Because you come to a school because you want to mimic that running back. You want to be that running back that's on TV playing. Mm-hmm. So when you see them leave, you don't want to let them down, and you don't want to let your team down. Yeah. So I think we held that over our heads more so than anything. So when I left, Lisa's and Dre held it down. Then you had, who was after them? You had Ryan Williams, not Ryan Williams. You had
what's the man? Kevin Jones.
Kevin Jones,
untouchable.
So like I said, even
Williams.
even after we left, even after we left, we still had great running backs. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, people come to Virginia Tech. I mean, running backs came to Virginia Tech because of seeing great running backs.
Yeah.
And we just don't have that now. But I'm glad I got to, meet you guys. Had a great experience at Virginia Tech, and I learned a lot from you guys. So thanks for doing this again, Drace. Appreciate it.
Oh, this ain't the last time, dog. We're gonna have a live from the stage where we can go a little bit in depth on what we want to. Hey, but the people gonna want to know more. They're gonna be yearning for more. We the Stallions, baby. You see us? We got our horse stable, so we gonna park up. All right. What's up, Wayne? Talk to us.
Hey, wow, man, Shy hit the nail right on the head. But for me, coming from Florida, to be quite honest with you, I was like, who? Virginia Tech. Like, I didn't know nothing about the Virginia Tech until I got my offer, right?
Yep.
So, but when I came up on my visit, Lauren Johnson, LJ, man, he really set the tone. So he said, you either gonna win with us or we're gonna beat the brakes off you on the other side of the field. So which one you want to do? You see what I'm saying? And then just that whole mentality. And then when I actually got up there and the love that I got from the room, I'm not even talking about everywhere else, just the room.
Yeah.
And it's authentic, and we held each other accountable. And again, I just didn't want to let nobody down, whatever position I was in. So, I'm to the point now where I really, really, really hope that they get back to recruiting and getting some quality backs in there, so they can reestablish that legacy of having the backfield. You know what I mean? And it is just, I'm grateful for each and every one of you. And I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to play alongside with you guys, and most importantly, the relationship that developed, even beyond the field, man, because it's a lot of stuff that happened beyond the field that we protected each other, which is huge. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you guys, man. Looking forward to the next one.
Already. Mr. Parker.
Man, it's really good being on here with you guys. And what it really makes me think a lot about is when I came into Tech and I'm talking about like on my visit, when I came on my visit out of high school to Tech. And I just came in, man, I saw the love, man, for the guys, man. I just like, man, this is the place, man. This is it, man. And it was like that all the time, every year, man. You have new guys come in, we show the love, and it was a tradition how we built it, man. And it was just so good. I learned from Poons and D Tom. They laid down how the foundation was to me and Ox, and then on down the line, the Geese transferred over. He was one of us once he was there. It was just Shy, Dre, Wayne, A Love. I mean, Jay Ferg. I mean, it was a blast, fellas. Everybody has their own memories about different things that happened at Tech, man. But I really enjoyed it, man. I'm glad I was a part of it. I'm glad I played a role in our success, and just keep doing good things out there, fellas, and keep trying to live the best life you can.
Absolutely.
Ready.
Goose, I know you tired, Goose. You've been on here an hour and 15 minutes. I know you tired.
Man,
you the tiredest running back ever, yo.
It's my bedtime, man.
It's your bedtime.
It's my bedtime, man.
You will eat dinner before you go to bed, bro.
Sometime. Hey, man, what I'll say is, man, I started playing this game when I was about 5 or 7 years old, man, and I never knew what it was. And I think back on it, man, and me, it's a foundation. Like I always tell people, and I tell myself, some of people like that today, man, that football prepares you for the game of life. It's a brotherhood. It makes you feel like you're your brother's keeper, because you deal with people from all backgrounds, all walks of life. And that foundation, for me, is what, inspired the relationships and the things that we all have today, as you see. that brotherhood, that my brothers keep a mentality, that mentality of, football prepared me for this, and it prepared me for discipline and structure. And as you see, we guys are all doing all kind of different things in our walks of life, people being teachers, people being coaches, and giving back. And that mentality is like one of those things that you can't go without. And looking back on it, like I told you guys, I came into an environment from I guess everybody thought I was in Beverly Hills, and we had these chain gates and fences. And I remember Big was like, I was like, Big, is it always like this? Gentry always like this? He's like, man, it ain't always like this. But I just came back, and I was just like, and parking, and Oxendown, I ain't had no car. I live way off campus, and people give me rides and stuff like that. And just to remember those times, and remember the talks and the conversation me and Shy would have on Friday nights, and to think back, man, like football prepares you for the game of life. And we all are using those experiences that we have to be the men that we are today. So I'm proud of all of y'all, man, and glad that everybody's doing well, glad that everybody is, who has kids and being the present and being in kids' lives, and just Godspeed to everybody.
Already.
Thank you.
Vegas Lane. Vegas, my boys and just moved out there, man. So I gotta catch a Raiders game, man.
Man, first and foremost, man, I was listening to some of the guys talk, and people always ask, you miss playing, and you hear a lot of the guys say, no, I don't miss it. What I miss is the locker room, the fellas. Okay. And along with that, I want to say, man, just to keep his memory alive, man, Poons, Brian, aka Edmonds, that was, he was my big brother when I came in. And you talk about the consummate teammate, man, and someone who really just knew how to pull you along and build you up, And I know all of y'all have experienced that, man. I just wanted to say his name another time, man, just to keep him in the picture, because he was very important to all of us, as y'all know.
And Lane, we're gonna dedicate it to 32. This show dedicated to 32. He gonna be with us when my man chop it up. He gonna be well represented in this thing here.
I already know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, so Jared, what you got, brother?
Man, I tell you what, I'm sitting back listening, and man, I wanted to chime in some other stuff, but I'm gonna hold my tongue here for right now.
Do your thing. Hey, yo, this your time, bro. This your time. You say do whatever you want.
Get him, Jared. Get him, Jared.
I might jump in on a little bit more next episode we do.
No doubt.
Back, but I tell you what, man, just having the time with you guys and me, but it's kind of the same deal. People ask, do you miss playing football? I was like, no, I miss my boy. The only reason I go to a Tech game is to see you guys. That's the only reason. I wait. If somebody say, hey, we're going to the game, that's when I'll get a ticket and go to the game. And my daughter's up there right now. So my daughter won't even go to a game unless I come up. Wow. So it's a whole deal, because it's a whole different experience now. With us being up there so long, my kids grew up in Blacksburg, and it was all family deal. And now, like, even to my kids, it doesn't even seem like that anymore, just because I'm not there anymore. And so I'm going to go up when my family goes up, and y'all are my family, and that's what I consider. I'm gonna go up there and have a time with you guys, because the last time we were there, I don't think we watched 1 minute of that football game.
No.
Right.
Hey, my son was up there on the recruiting thing and everything. Coach left him in there.
That's what I'm saying. So, man, I tell you what, man, it's always going to be, y'all are my family. And man, I always say, like, we were blessed to have this farm now. And I told my wife, I said, man, when we get this thing kind of going and smooth it out a little bit more, I said, I'm going to invite all y'all down so y'all can come out. We can hang out, because ain't nobody around us. We can't get no trouble around.
No doubt.
I got plenty of land around there. We just gonna hang out, cook y'all a bunch of food, and we're gonna hang and just chill out and reminisce just like we doing now.
Yeah.
But that's what it is, man. I love you guys, and that's what I wanted to tell you. I wanted to be on here just because you guys say, "Hey, look, we're gonna get together," and that's why I'm on here. I want to be around you guys because we don't get to see each other that much. So let's do this again, and anytime you want to do it, I'm in. If you say, "Hey, look, the stable's coming," I'm in.
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make this a thing, man. We this is beautiful. Go ahead, Ox.
You know, it's crazy.
You know what's crazy? Hold on, Ox. You know what's crazy, Ox? You can hit us with 4 different locations since we been on this show. Hey, sit down somewhere, Ox.
Superman. I'm in Tokyo right now.
Superman
in Tokyo right now.
Go ahead, brother.
But all the things that we've been talking about, you know, and all the people that we've loved and we've cared for in this stable, you know, talking about the running backs that was at Tech, you know, the thing is that it hasn't been the same since Coach Height stopped coaching.
Right.
So that's you gotta think, you know, he had a stable full of running backs always coming in. So they really I think until they can find someone that can be that type of person for them, you know, they will continue to struggle with getting running backs in. Because I think he coached some great running backs over his career.
Yes, he did.
But you know, it's always love seeing people that you've been around, you've grown, you've mentored, you've been able to help guide, and that you've taken guidance from. So from all you guys, you know, one of the great things, you know, I've learned something from all of you guys, even if all the 5-foot crew.
No, right. We're full of fact. We're full of fact.
I was the only one over 6 foot.
You and Wayne.
Yeah. So, but you know, that's the great thing with family, man, is that we're always gonna be right there for us. You know, Jared hit it on the nail. You know, the biggest thing is that when we go back, when I've gone back, it hasn't been a lot of times where I've watched the game. You know, it's just, you know, piece of it, and now my kids, my wife, they love Tech. They love that atmosphere. They love that, and yeah, do we wish that, you know, we could get back to the old ways? It's going to take time for that to happen. And, you know, it's going to take a lot of things that happen outside of just to come to better our organization from the bottom to the top. Really, where you try to really paint the better picture of where Tech is going to go. It's going to, you know, it's not just, you know, the coaching staff. Yeah, that does that have a part to do with it? Yeah, but the same breath is that, you know, it's those people who are pulling the strings as well.
Yeah. Yep. But I'm gonna just tell y'all, man, like y'all just don't know, bro. I'm gonna keep you know, Cornell was my host, and then Cornell had to go to an award show or something, and Poons was my host, man. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I had a great time, and I knew, like, because I'm gonna be honest, I wanted to go to Notre Dame, and it almost was just like the Lord said, "You going to Tech," because all my visits got snowed out in the blizzard of '96, Self Tech, every one of them. Carl Bradley got caught in pit for like 2-3 weeks. It was a big snowstorm up there. It was a lot of crazy stuff going on. But one thing I remember was when I went in there, man, and y'all had an award show. Y'all had I think it was the banquet. And Law Lou came in there with that tight ass black vest. And we started calling him, man. And I'm gonna tell you, man, it was just, I called him Vesta or something like that, and Dwight Vick and all, and everybody just was like, man, the whole time, everybody was just showing me, man, love, like, yo, dog, you gotta come here, man. And it really felt like fam, man. And when I came in, you know what I'm saying, like Ox, you and Marcus, y'all, you know, y'all took us up under your wing. And one thing I'll say I learned from y'all is this. I knew I wasn't the biggest. I knew I wasn't the fastest. I knew I wasn't the strongest. So I know the way I had to get on the field was with my mind. I had to know what I was doing at all times, and I had to be able to know a little bit of what everybody else was doing at all times. And just the way that you guys pay, because I used to watch Ox sitting in there watching the film with he used to have a little red pen sometime.
Yeah, right.
Out of the corner.
These boys know everything. Man, I just missed that Fox, man. And that dude looked like the kill Al back there. So it was just the preparation part of the piece that, I got from you guys and Misha, Goose, and Lane. Like I said, Lane used to, when I first got the tech, I was like, yo, that's the coolest. Yo, he is the coolest. Man, I'm talking about
in the room, right?
If we never met on the football field, man, and I met you out somewhere in pub, man, we would be partners, man, because that's just the vibe. We had an ill vibe. You was the smoothest New York, Brooklyn in the house, stand up, son. You know what I mean? But that's, we had that relationship. And again, like me, Jared, and Shy and Wayne and Cullen and all of us, man, we was with each other for 4 years of our lives, man.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, like, these are brothers, like people that you can, like, y'all are my, like, brothers. Like, I'm be like, yo, that's my brother. They be like, yeah, that don't count. No, it count because it's a different type of brotherhood, man. Like, it's the same as my mom had y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of brotherhood that we had in that room. Coach Hike, he gonna get us where we need to be. He was gonna make sure that we was doing everything, but he won't be no jerk to us. You know what I'm saying? He was gonna be cool. You know what I'm saying? He was gonna make it so we learned. And man, just being in there, just being around that love, man, in that football office, you look back as an adult and some of the moments where you get in those, like, places where you down or you got something stressed out and you think about some of the things that we did back then. And they bring you back around, man, because like I said, we can sit here for hours or days and just talk about story after story after story, and it'll light up our day. Like, I'm so excited and happy, man, and just thankful for you guys for coming on the show, man. I love each and every one of you guys. Hey, this ain't the last Stallions from the stable, bro. We might pump this thing in, drop one every month. We drop one every month because they're going to want to know what's going on.
Hey, we got to do our favorite Poon story next time, man.
Favorite, you know what? We got free. I'm going to go ahead and go because we still got, I can break this into 2 shows. We're going to do that. That's what we're going to do in honor of our dog, Brian Emmons, Poon's 32 dog. We love you. So what we're going to do in honor of you, each one of us going to run it down, our favorite story, and then we're going to get out of here. Shah, since you started, let's go with you.
My favorite Poon, okay. 90, was it 96? Yeah, spring 96 spring game. Me and a couple boys came to the spring game, and Poons looked up, and somehow he noticed me. He was like, you the kid from Chesapeake, right? And I was like, yeah. He's like, yo, I'm Brian Ed. I shook his hand. I knew who him and Ox was. Of course, I seen him on TV. Thomas,
Dwayne Thomas.
Thomas had already left. And he knew my stats. He knew what high school I came from. And I was like, dang, okay, all right. He was like, yo, come down to such and stuff. We're having a party, this and that. And then, the season came to the Miami Hurricane game, did the same thing. I'm like, yo, man, this dude, he be on it. So it's not like we was one of those cats that you guys already know. Like, if you was a Tech fan and you was on the team, you was his brother. Once you put on that maroon and that orange, you was his brother. He was gonna look out for you, take care of you, and wasn't gonna tell you no lies. He was gonna tell you who to stay away from, what to do, not to do, how to do it, and live the right way. So, and I loved him to death. Still love him to this day. Still miss him, and I wish he was here.
Yeah, man, you right about that, bro. Just to have him right here in this center screen, top man, good. No, that's heavy, shot. What's up, Wayne?
Yeah, man. There was one moment I remember specifically, when he saw me with the number 32, and it was a short interaction. I knew who he was, but I didn't know who he was. And all he simply said is just represent. And he gave me a hug, and I told him I got you. Because that following year I had a chance to change the number. I was like, nah, man. I'm not gonna change his number. I'm gonna wear this number in honor of him.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So, and I did my best, to try to honor him, man. And I didn't have the relationship like you guys had, but man, he a Hokie, man. He a brother.
That's it.
He's part of the stable, man. And I miss him too, man.
Yep. And I'm gonna go to you, Goose, because I'm gonna get to the ones that was with him the most last, because I know they got the most stories. So I'm gonna get to you, Goose, and then I'll move to Jared.
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing I remember about Pools, man, is for some reason, man, if y'all ever saw my brother, man, my brother got killed like in 91. And I looked at him, man, and he was number 32. And everybody used to always wonder, why I didn't wear the number 32. And he was a good, football player growing up, and he was one of those local legends, never went to college. He had a grade, got kicked out of school, 12th grade, stuff like that. But Pools, man, if I put them together, man, he reminded me of my brother, even with the number, his looks, his demeanor, and the way he carried himself, man. He just treated me like, you know what? He was quiet and just like my brother, man, and just like, but he was about his business. Yeah. And he just reminded me so much of my brother. So every time I think about him and his bald head and the way that he kind of resembled my brother, that's what he reminded me of, man. So I ain't have a whole lot of moments with him, but I just remember that time I told him that. He was like, man, quit playing. But yeah, I just told him.
No doubt. Jared?
And the stuff that I remember with Booms, man, you weren't a stranger to him. Like no matter what, when he saw you, he knew who you were. And like everybody else, man, I was a young buck just getting in the door, and he knew everything about me. And that was the same, like, with everybody. But, man, he knew about me. He hung out with me like I was a part of the crew, and I didn't do anything to take that. I was just there. And so that's the one thing. Every time I saw him, man, he always lit up, talked to you like you've been knowing you forever. And man, just like you said, he treated you like a brother. And that's what I remember about him. Because, I mean, it could be anywhere that he saw you, and you were his brother automatically.
No doubt. Lover's Lane.
Yo, Dre, I mean, it depends on what kind of story, I don't.
Man, you say what you want to say, man. I got all them stories too. Whatever stories we need, we got them. You know what I mean? We'll say that for later, though. Whatever you want to tell, brother. But you know what? Now, on serious note, can nobody tell you what he meant to you, or what triggered you, or the times that make you happy remembering him? So you do what you do, brother.
Oh man, times that help me really remembering Poons, man. Well, first of all, I'll tell y'all the story. How he even got the name Poons. It's because he used to wear these tighty whitey underwears, man. I can't remember who said it, man. I think it was Raphael. What's Raphael's last name? White? Anyway,
yeah,
like,
Raphael White.
Yeah, Raphael. Yeah. He was like, you got them Poons drawers. So that's how he actually got the name Poons. Another time, you guys talking about how he was, man, as a friend and a teammate, and if he was your brother, he was your brother. I never forget, man, one of my high school teammates came down to visit me, and we were at a party. And my boy was pretty drunk, and he needed to get back to the room. I was going to go do what Lover's Lane do.
Lover's Lane, that's why they call him Lover's Lane.
And yeah, man, he took my boy back to Cochran, back to my dorm, man, and make sure he was safe, safe and sound, man. He's like, Lane, don't worry, I got him.
That's dope.
And I always appreciated Poons for that, man. And what was the last thing I was gonna say? Oh, and I'm not gonna say too much on it, but all y'all know on here, Poons had that one hitter quitter.
Yeah! hey.
A lot of dudes go down.
Hey, if you pushed him that far, dog, you did something wrong. If you got him to that point, you did. It's on you. It's your fault. That person's fault. Yeah, it's that person's fault.
Yeah.
So what's up, Parker?
Man, Lane, I ain't gonna get on that one either, man.
It's good to be his friend. No doubt.
Yeah. Everybody knows how Poons was, his style. Always trying to have a good time, man. But I'll tell you what, man, Poons was 100% about his craft. I roomed with him for 2 years on the road, man. And you know, this is something he actually made me do. Was, you know, on the Friday night after, you know, the dinner, you go back to the room, man. He was all about, let's go through the plays, man. Let's go through the offense. Let's go through the defense. I mean, he was big on, you know, being prepared. He wanted to make sure we was ready, man. And that type of, you know, just seeing that up close and personal, man, was like, man, you know, this is how I want to be. You know what I'm saying? I want to have this type of dedication, man. But you know, that was something that, you know, a lot of people didn't get this experience, because I was actually his roommate, man. But the time and the effort he would put into training and getting ready for a game plan, man, it was second to none, man. He was always doing his best to be ready, man. And I respected the heck out of him for that, man. And I'm really broke up, man. I remember seeing him shortly before I got the news, man, and it was a tough deal, man. But Dre, like you said, man, he's not going nowhere, man. He's gonna always be here with us. He'll always be here with us.
No question. Oxen Prime.
It's crazy because like Poons, you know, he was, you know, he got to be you know, my fullback. And you talking about just like Park said, that he was always about business when it came onto that field. And just, you know, but what people don't realize, he was the same size in high school at tailback.
No doubt.
So yeah. So, you know, he was just an individual that on the field, he was everything you wanted in the fullback. He could catch the ball, he could run the ball when he needed to run the ball. But you know, but he also had a joy about him on the field, and that joy was also that light also shone off the field as well. Yeah. He, you know, just talking about a brother like no other. He was always asking you, whether or not, you know, how you doing today? You all right? You checking on me, you know, how that weekend go, you know, so and so, and making sure that you ain't in the wrong places, and making sure that he also made sure that your back was covered as well.
Yeah.
So you know, it was always one of those things where, you know, it's unfortunate, you know, that he left us too soon. Yes. And not be able to, you know, enjoy these moments. But like you said, his memory continued to just move on in our spirit and everything that we've done and that we continue to do to, you know, to bless him in his name and all that great stuff.
No doubt. And I'm gonna give you my story. I got a couple of Poons, but quite naturally, like I said, man, you know, me and Poons, we hung out, you know, up until the day, you know, we hung out together up until the day, you know, he passed, as far as, you know, seeing him on a regular basis or talking to him on a regular basis, you know, we kept in touch. But my biggest, it's crazy. I was on my recruiting visit, and we went to a party, and then we went to Hardee's. You know how we always used to go to Hardee's afterward, right?
Definitely.
So we're in Hardee's, and like, you know, I'm still in high school. I'm looking around like, man, they everywhere, players everywhere. And I'm not gonna say the person's name that said it, but I'm gonna say who the person was. So I'm sitting there just being observant, and I look, and it was ED. Remember ED, the running back?
Yeah.
ED was going hard at this girl. I'm talking about, he gave her, man, that ED was, yeah, baby, you know, blah, blah, yeah, you know. I mean, he was going hard for her. Oh. Man, and I was sitting there, and I just kept, and the guy that I'm talking about, I saw him from a distance, and it was just something about him. I'm like, man, something ain't right about this dude. So I told Poons, I'm like, Poons, man, something ain't right about this dude right here. He said, watch this. I'm talking about, it wasn't even 2 minutes after he said, watch this, the girl walked away from ED. ED walked away to get his food. The dude walked up to her, was like, yo, what you talking to him for, man? He don't even play. Poons looked at me and winked and was like, I told you. And to this day, I mean, you know, to God bless the dead, to the day he died, I will always be like, yo, you remember that hate mom? He was like, yo, I told you. And so he schooled me to that. Like, I mean, he schooled me to little stuff like that, man. It was just like, you know, once I got to the school and everything, like I said, they pulled us under their wing, you know, the boys club was in full effect, you know, we was over there. And man, that dude, man, one thing about him is, if you had to really do something wrong to him for you know what I'm saying, before you hear, dang, B knocked him out. Man, dude did something to deserve that knockout. It wasn't just no play, no games, test your power type thing. It was like he was that guy that, man, he gonna push, he gonna try to save you. Like, dog, come on, man, I don't want that in. You know what I mean? I want, you know, he wanted happiness, he wanted peace, he wanted all that stuff, but you couldn't get him wrong. That's done it. But like I said, the thing I remembered about him the most, man, he was just that loving spirit, man. Like a big brother that you know. And he ain't gonna sugarcoat it when you out there messing up. He like, yo, dog, what you doing? And that's what you needed, you know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I'm grateful for him about, to him about, man. This, like I said, as long as I'm living, and I know as long as we got this thing, he gonna rep on forever, man. Until his sons, and you know, they know that if they need anything, they got folks that they can call, man, because of the way your dad left it. Your dad was good enough, so good to people that people are willing to help you and willing to do things for you. You know what I'm saying? Just off the strength of your dad. So yeah, man, I miss him. But fellas, man, this has been a great one, man. We've been on two hours strong. Everybody good. So hey, be prepared because we're gonna do this thing again, man.
Good time.
We're gonna do this thing again.
Goose, you still up?
Goose, man, Goose took 2 naps over there, man. But man,
Cleaning over, man.
I'm cleaning up. I'm about to go to sleep.
All right, Goose, we're gonna let you go to sleep, brother. But this has been another Drake and Talk edition, live from the stable with the Virginia Tech Hokie Stallion running backs, man. Tune in, like, share, subscribe. This is gonna be a good one. We out. Thank you guys for watching Drake and Talk. Be on the lookout for more exclusive content. Like, share, subscribe. Drake and Talk out.